Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appear in our Hindu newspaper today. So let's get started with our discussion. First I'll let you know important topics of the day. And later on we are going to see each and every topic from prelims and as well as mains point of view. And I will let you know how question can be asked in your mains and as well as prelims from that so and so particular topic is. And this topic is very important and actually I'll be telling you like how the questions will be coming exactly, and I will be showing you some prelims practice questions at last so that you will be understanding exactly how questions can be asked from that topic from prelims. Okay, let us see the topics of the day. The first one is GST collections rise to a record of 2.43 lakh rupees, a lakh crore in April. So this article is saying that in month of April, the GST collections were around 2.43 lakh crore. Actually, it is one of the highest record that we collected. So here you have to know about basics of GST. Many a times UPSC asked questions on this GST in mains and as well as prelims. So you have to see that. And this topic is important from your economy from GS paper 3 guys. In economy you have a chapter called as taxation. In that you will be studying about direct tax, indirect tax. So this GST is an example from indirect tax point of view. And next topic is government hikes price of commercial LPG 5 kg cylinder bulk diesel. So this article is talking about a rise of price of LPG cylinders. Especially they are talking about commercial cylinder price of LPG increased and even 5 kg cylinder price increased and even bulk diesel price also had been increased. So this topic is important from again economy from GS paper 3 point of view. And next topic is work in progress on the household social consumption health survey. Already we discussed that recently household social consumption survey had been released and it said that yes, the health seeking behavior of people had been changed, and today there is one editorial regarding that and we are going to see that. And this topic is important from GS paper 2 under governance. And next topic is Gulf within on the UAE leaving OPEC. So we know that UAE made a recent announcement that it is going to leave this OPEC. So here again in today's newspaper there is one editorial related to that. We are going to see that. And next topic is disappearing wetlands and mosquito menace. So this article is talking about the relationship between wetland and as well as mosquito, how it is going to cause menace in our country. And this topic is important from GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. Here see this article guys, read out the title and tell me the keyword. Read out the title and tell me the keyword guys. GST collections rise to a record of rupees 2.43 lakh crore in April. This article is talking about GST, right? The keyword from this article is GST. What is the full form of this GST? Goods and Services Tax. Where exactly we'll study about this topic? In chapter of taxation in your economy. We have direct tax, we have indirect tax. So this GST is an example of indirect tax. Why it is called as indirect tax? What is the meaning of direct tax and indirect tax? Direct tax is levied directly based on the income or profit, right? So if the profit is increasing of a company or if the income of a person is increasing, they will come under this bracket of direct tax, and based on their income this direct tax will be increasing. So because of this it is called as progressive tax. That means if your income is increasing, if your company's profits are increasing, you have to pay more and more tax. Because of this it is called as progressive tax. And examples of this direct tax, we have income tax, we have corporate tax, gift tax, etc. Those will come under direct taxes. Then what are these indirect taxes? I don't want to see whatever the income you have. I'm not bothering about your status, economic status, social status, whatever it may be. Despite of that, every person has to pay this tax. This is indirect tax. Because of this, it is called as regressive tax. Why it is called as regressive tax here is, if government is imposing this indirect tax, who will be getting like more affected, poor people will be getting more affected. So because of this, it is called as regressive tax. And one example here is GST, guys. Okay, this year GST will become very, very important. Why GST will become very important this year for your prelims? Can anyone tell me what are the recent current affairs related to GST? GST 2.0 reforms is in use in 2025, right? So because of this, for sure, you may get a question regarding GST. So how can you get a question? Consider the following statements regarding GST. And they'll give you statements and they may ask you which of the above statements are correct or incorrect. That is the first type of question. And second type of question is consider the following. They'll give you corporate tax, gift tax, property tax, income tax, GST, like that, and they may ask you to identify which are direct taxes or indirect taxes. That is the second type of question you can expect. And third type of question is directly about this GST 2.0 reforms they may ask. So the following statements regarding GST 2.0, and under that they'll give you statements and they may ask you like which of the above are correct or incorrect. So these are the three types of questions you may get, and it is very, very important and expected topic for your prelims 2026. Okay, now tell me guys, what are this GST 2.0 reforms? What government did under this? So how many slabs of GST we have commonly? 5%, 12%, 18% and 28%. So these are the slabs. 5%, 12%, 18%, 28% slabs we have under this GST. What we did in this 2.0 reforms, we removed this 12% slab and 28% slab and we added this goods in this 5% and 18% slab, right? And apart from that, we came up with one more slab. What is that? 40% slab for what? For sin goods. You may also get a question in this way. Recently, sin goods are seen in use. What it refers to? They'll give you A, B, C, D options. And they may ask you to identify the correct option related to sin goods. That is a one more possible question. And second type of question is, consider the following goods. And they'll give you the list of goods like tobacco, alcohol, BD, pan, masala, like that. And they will ask you to identify which of the above comes under sin goods category. Are you understanding? So because of this major reform came up by our government of India, which came up with a separate slab for discouraging the use of the sin goods by the people. You have to know which all comes under the sin goods. Is that basic or not? So UPSC will try to test whether you know the basic or not. Because here in your examination you have already applied for different categories of jobs, right? In that we have IRS, Indian Revenue Service. In that we have direct tax and indirect tax. So your GST comes under indirect tax. If government is making that kind of major changes in your service, that means obviously UPSC will expect you to know about that. So because of this, UPSC can ask you a question on this sin goods. So you have to make the list of sin goods. Okay. On this also UPSC can ask you a question. Don't take any choice case. Just write down the list of sin goods. On this for sure you may get a question. Okay. So these are the changes came up by the government recently. And now if you see this title, it says that GST collections rise to a record of 2.43 lakh crore in month of April. So here this article is saying that in the month of April 2026, we had got very high record of GST collections. So here you have to see about basics of GST, and here you have to see what are the reasons why there is increased GST collections in month of April and what is the impact of high GST collections on our country. So you have to see all those areas, guys. And this topic is important not only for prelims but even for mains point of view also. This is important. Okay, now let us see the context. Context says that there is very high record collection of GST. and it is all-time high. If you see about this GST, full form is goods and service tax. It is an example of indirect tax. And in this GST also, you will come across this CGST, IGST, SGST. So regarding this also, UPSC can ask you a question like comparing CGST with IGST or CGST with SGST also, UPSC can ask a question. Let us see those important types here. The first one is, here we have CGST. CGST full form is Central Goods and Service Tax. It will be levied and collected by central government, guys. And whatever the CGST collected by center will be used by center only. That is a one important thing that you have to remember. It applies to every transaction within a state alongside of the state GST. Okay. And second one here is State Goods and Service Tax, that is CGST. If you see about this SGST, okay, State Goods and Service Tax, it is SGST. It is collected and levied by state government. Okay, see here, it is collected and levied by state government, and whatever the taxes it is collected, it goes to this concerned state only. And it applies alongside of CGST on every intra-state transaction. For a particular good or service, its rate may vary from one state to another state. One state to another state, here this rate can be varied. But whatever CGST we discussed, that will be uniform throughout our country. But here from state to state, it will be changed, guys. You have to remember that. And next one is, we have Union Territories GST, that is UT, Goods and Service Tax. And this UT GST is equivalent to SGST, and it will be implemented in Union Territories. Okay, and who will be levying and collecting this? It is levied and collected by UT administration. And whatever the amount it is collected under this UT GST, it will be going to this UTs itself. And next one here is IGST. If any trade which is happening between the states, for example, the goods are going from this Telangana state to AP state, or Telangana to Karnataka, or Telangana to MP, like that. In that kind of interstate transactions, this IGST will come. Okay. And this IGST will be collected and levied by central government. After once this is collected by central government, that proceeds will go to this states. It will be sharing that proceeds with the states. So these are the four important types on which UPSC can ask you a question. So mostly people will be confused with this IGST. It is levied and collected by center, but whatever the proceeds it will collect, it will share with the states later on. Okay. See this next article, guys. Government hikes price of commercial LPG, 5 kg cylinders, bulk diesel. What is this article talking about? It is talking about increased price of LPG. So what is the full form of LPG? Liquefied petroleum gas. Okay, because of this LPG crisis in our country, for sure you may get facts based question on LPG for sure. Keep star mark for this, and who are writing this 2026 examination, you have to collect the details of LPG. So how question can be given? Consider the following statements regarding LPG, and they'll give you statements and they will ask you to identify correct or incorrect statements. That is the one type of question. Apart from LPG, we have this PNG, piped natural gas, is in use, and we have even LNG, liquefied natural gas, is there in use. In yesterday's class, we discussed that one ship had been taken off from Gujarat to Strait of Hormuz to fill for loading of this LNG. So they may compare this LPG with LNG and they can give you a question. Okay, already we discussed in detail facts regarding this LPG, PNG and LNG. So you have to just revise those notes. If you see about this LPG, it contains which constituents? Propane and butane. And what is the smell of this LPG? Do we get any smell naturally? No, there is no order or color for this LPG. But whenever the gas leak happens in our houses, we will get rotten egg smell. It is because of a chemical. You have to remember that. The name of that chemical is ethyl mercaptan. So just for safety purpose, they will add this ethyl mercaptan, which will give this rotten egg smell for this gas. And this one here is this LPG is heavier than compared to that of air. And next important point here is we can store this LPG at normal temperature. But in the case of LNG, we cannot store that in normal temperature. We have to maintain very low temperature to store this LNG, and it is very light. But this LPG is very heavier. So like that, they will be comparing LNG with LPG and they may ask you a question, or solely they can give a question on this LPG gas. You have to be very much careful. Now this article is saying that the price of this LPG had been increased. So which LPG they are talking about? Commercial LPG. So in LPG normally we have two types of LPG. First one is domestic LPG, second one is commercial LPG. So how can you identify here? In domestic LPG, whatever the cylinders that we are using in our home, they will be normally which color? Red color. So if you go to commercial spaces like hotels or food stalls or any outside like that, you will be seeing gas will be there in this blue color cylinders. So whenever the gas is there in blue color cylinders, they are for commercial purpose. And the storage is also more in this commercial purpose compared to that of whatever we use in our households. So they may also give question related to this commercial and domestic LPG difference, because government said that there will be no problem for this domestic LPG, but we are going to stop this commercial LPG, right? So because of this, UPSC wants you to know basic difference between what is this commercial and what is this domestic. So you have to know that. And this one is talking about price. So recently, because of this crunch of gas or crunch of oil, there is increased price of petrol, diesel and as well as LPG, right? So because of this, you have to know how this pricing mechanism is there in our country also. So on that also UPSC can ask you a question case. Okay, you have to see basics of LPG and you have to compare with other gases, and you have to see about what is domestic and commercial LPG, and you have to see about pricing mechanism in our country. We are not bothering in other countries. Only we have to bother in our country. Only in our country you have to see how this pricing of this LPG, petrol, diesel will be done. On that also UPSC can or may ask a question. Who knows? Okay, now let us see this article. It is saying that oil marketing companies hiked the price of commercial LPG by 993, that is around 1000 rupees on single cylinder. They increased the price. You can understand how the food price will be going to be increased in future. And next one here is they increased price of this 5 kg cylinder by 261 rupees per one cylinder. And next one is even there is increase of price on this diesel also, and now it will be around 149 rupees per liter. Please don't make noise. Okay, so this is the context. There is increased price for this commercial LPG, 5 kg cylinder, and even diesel price had been increased. So now you guys tell me, if there is increased price of this LPG and as well as diesel, do it have any impact on our economy or not? Yes, then what is that impact? What can be seen in future in our economy because of increased price? Obviously, it will lead to inflation. There will be increased price of goods and services in the market for sure. If the price of petrol or diesel is increased, obviously transportation cost is increased. And because of this increased transportation cost, obviously overall production of goods and services cost will be increased. That will lead to increased final price of goods and service. That will lead to inflation in our country. That is the first important point. And next one guys, what about food prices? Obviously, whenever there is increased commercial gas price, the food prices will be increased. The ready-made food or fast food, whatever you eat outside will be obviously increased. And next guys, what about the purchasing power of people? Can people purchase like earlier? Will people show interest? No, there will be decreased demand. So if decreased demand happens, then what about our GDP? Increased or decreased? Decreased. So as you all know that India reached the position of fourth largest economy by bypassing which country? Japan. But the recent updates are saying that India slipped 2 positions and India is the sixth largest economy in the world, not fourth now. So if this kind of situations happens, not only in other country, obviously it will be affecting economy of our country. Can we reach our target Viksit Bharat 2047 if this kind of things happens? It will be having impact on our long-term economic goals also, guys. Okay. Now let us see about the types of cylinders. We have domestic cylinders and we have commercial cylinders. In domestic cylinders, please make a note, we have only 14.2 kgs of gas in that. 14.2 kgs. On that cylinder also you can see this, which is printed on white letters, white color. It is 14.2 kgs and commercial is 19 kgs. Okay, next one is we also have other variants like 5 kg cylinders, small cylinders. Normally bachelors, they will be getting this kind of small cylinders and they'll go and they'll refill that. Do you know this? So here we have others also like 5 kg cylinders. And one important point you have to remember is whatever the domestic cylinders government is giving, government will be providing subsidy on that domestic cylinders. But that subsidy will be not provided for this commercial cylinders. Very important guys. Whenever UPS is giving the statements related by comparing the two things, obviously it will have a tendency to swap the statements. They will be giving domestic LPG and they will be giving contents of commercial LPG there. In commercial LPG, they will be adding content of domestic LPGs. So you have to be careful. So this is one trick normally used by UPSC. If they are comparing two things, obviously it will be swapping the statements. You have to check whether it is right or wrong. You have to be careful. If you are sure that it is right, then it will be right. If you don't know, then you can mark that those two statements are wrong. So like that, you can use this kind of tricks in UPSC. And if you see about the pricing mechanism, the first one is actually our price of petrol, diesel and gas is not stable in our country. Why? Because we are getting most of our imports from outside. Yes, majorly from Russia we are getting, USA we are getting, Venezuela, West Asian countries. So from other countries we are getting our imports. So because of this, if international price is increasing, obviously the price will be increased in our country. That means we cannot maintain proper stable price because of our import dependency. That is the first important point that you have to remember. And who will get this oil from other countries? Oil marketing companies will be purchasing this crude oil from other countries. And after bringing them, they will go for processing of that crude oil. That is a process that we normally follow, right? So first step here is always the price will be dependent on this international benchmark of crude oil or LPG prices. And next one is the world's largest supplier of gas, LPG, is Gulf spot prices that will be fixed. So here, you know about this OPEC, oil producing countries, right? So oil producing export countries group is there. We have OPEC. So OPEC will be deciding the price of this crude oil. But for gas, it will be decided by Arab Gulf spot prices. So this is international benchmark. It is based on Saudi Aramco's LPG prices. And next one here is, after once we got this LPG here, normally we have to fill the vessel and we have to bring, right? So for that, we need to include the ocean freight cost, that is ocean transport cost, and even insurance companies, they have to pay insurance for that. And next one is custom duty, and even for using of the port, they will be charging, right, port charges. All these prices will be calculated and they will calculate it in this US dollars. And finally, they will convert into Indian rupees by using that day's current exchange rate. That is the second step. And after that, from that port, they have to reach this oil marketing companies. So that means in India, they will include now the transportation cost. And next one is they will go for processing. They will add this processing cost, and they will be filling in this kind of tins, right? Tins or like cylinders. So they will include storage cost and bottling cost. And apart from that, they have to market, right? So they will include marketing cost, and even distribution margins they will calculate, and they will tell the final price. And whenever they are telling the final price, now they will add this taxes. Final addition of GST will be there. So GST will be like 5% on domestic cylinders, and on commercial gases it will be like 18%. And finally they will be selling at this maximum retail price, and there the government will be providing subsidy for this domestic cylinders, and for commercial cylinders there is no subsidy. So this is the pricing mechanism of gas in our country, guys. Okay, now tell me guys, what are the factors which will affect the prices of this gas in our country? The first one is, you know about this geopolitical stability. If there is conflict in this oil producing and gas producing countries, obvious that will lead to decreased supply. If there is decreased supply, obvious that will lead to increased price. That is the first important factor. And next one is supply gaps. If the supply is decreased in the market, obviously that will lead to increased price in the market. And next one is if the transportation cost is increased. For example, now diesel cost is increased, transportation cost will be increased. So that will be obviously added to the final price or not. No one will be keeping that money from their pockets. Everyone wants to regain whatever the expenditure they did on this. So here, whenever there is increased transportation cost or increased insurance related things, obvious that will lead to increased price of LPG. And next one here is storage capacity also is very important. If they are having some underground reserves, or if they are having like huge storage capacity, if something happening outside also will be not affecting that country much in the short term, right? So if they are not having proper storage capacity, then what happened? That price volatility will be much more. So these are the main factors that will influence the price of LPG, guys. You may get a mains based question on this. What are the factors and how can we overcome this kind of challenges? Okay, say this next article, guys. Work in progress on household social consumption health survey. So recently we discussed that 80th round of household social consumption on health seeking behavior had been released, and we compared with which round? 75th round, which happened in 2018 to 19, and we are comparing with this 2025 data, and this report says that there is a huge advancement that is seen in health seeking behavior of people. So what are the points that we discussed there? Can anyone tell me? What are the key highlights of this report when we discussed this 2 days or 3 days ago only? Now tell me guys, what are the highlights of this report? What this report said? Come on, think and tell me. Online students, tell me in the comment box. First one is there is out of pocket expenditure which had been reduced, and even there is very good maternal care in our country. There is increased institutional deliveries, and even epidemiological transition happened. There is decreased communicable diseases and increased non-communicable diseases that were discussed. And next one is improved access to the patients, to the hospitals. And next one is increased public healthcare use also had been increased. And even there is increased insurance coverage in our country. All these points that we discussed, right? So now tell me guys some examples of initiatives taken by Government of India which helped this kind of transition. First one is Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which led to increased sanitation in our country. Next. Ayushman Bharat scheme, okay, which is providing insurance and as well as tertiary healthcare for the people. Next. Indradhanush program is focusing on vaccination for pregnant women and as well as children, so that led to reduction of some preventable diseases. Next, any other initiatives, guys? Arogyasri, okay, next. Arogyasri accepted. Next. Come on, think. We have Pradhana Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, which is providing 5 lakhs per family per year to poor and vulnerable families. And next one is we have Amrit program, which is focusing on affordable medicines and reliable implants for treatment. And we have Pradhana Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana, which is providing generic drugs to people at a very low cost. And this one is here we have Janani Suraksha Yojana, which is focusing on mother health, which is promoting institutional deliveries. And we have Pradhana Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan, which is improving mother and as well as children healthcare services. And we have National Health Mission. Under that, government is trying to provide free drugs diagnostics under free drug service initiative, and government came up with this free diagnostic initiative. So because of this, it improved healthcare services in remote areas as well, guys. So these are the things that you have to remember. And see this article, very interesting article. Disappearing wetlands and mosquito menace. What is the link between wetlands and mosquitoes? Have you ever seen, have you ever thought about this link? What are the wetlands? How many meters of water should be there? Wetland is an area which is saturated with water, and water should not be more than 6 meters of depth. If water is more than 6 meters, it is called as lakes. If it is less than 6 meters, it is called as a wetland. So now this article is linking between wetlands and mosquito. What is the relationship between water and mosquito? Have you ever thought about this? What is the relation? Laying of eggs, and after laying of egg, it will develop into larva. Yes. Do you know the stages of life of this mosquito? There are 4 stages. First one is eggs. Next one is larva. Third one is pupa. Fourth one is adult mosquito, right? Every mosquito will enters into this stages. So what happens whenever mosquito or laying egg, that will be hatched, it will form larva. Where is this larva located? In air, on plants, in water only, yes. So if you are storing water for 3 to 4 days in one vessel, and if you are keeping outside, after 3 to 4 days, we will see small insect-like things which will be moving in that water. That is nothing but this mosquito larvae only. Okay. So actually, wetlands are very important for breeding of mosquitoes. Yes or no? Do you think that, yes or no, will you accept it or not? Because larvae will be seen in water. So because of this, wetlands are very important for the growth of mosquito. But in that wetlands, do we see only mosquito larva? No, we have lots of other animal species which are present in that water, especially aquatic species, which will be feed on this larva also. Yes. So here this article is saying that nowadays there is decreased wetlands because of increased temperature. Because of increased temperature, climate change, more and more water is evaporating. So because of this, nowadays there is disappearing of wetlands. And even in urban areas, what is happening? Illegal encroachment of this water bodies is also happening. So because of this, further more reduction of wetlands are happening. So because of this reducing of wetlands, now there is increase in mosquito population. Why? Because in this wetlands will naturally promote supporting predators, like there will be fish, frog, dragonflies and birds. So these animal species or these predators will be feeding on this mosquito larvae. Okay. So because of this, wetlands used to control mosquito population, and these are natural checks. But now what is happening here? Now wetlands are disappearing because of this. Natural checks are not there now for mosquito. Because of this, mosquito population is going to be more. That will cause a menace. That is this title. Are you understanding here? So now you guys tell me why wetlands are disappearing. The first important thing here is rapid urbanization and as well as infrastructure development. So because of this, we are encroaching this wetlands which are present. That is the first reason. And next one is increasing of agriculture or expansion of agriculture is happening. So because of this also our wetlands are reducing day by day. And next one is because of pollution, because of waste dumping. What is happening here? Again, reducing of wetlands. And next one is climate change. There is altered rainfall patterns and there is increased droughts. And this time we are going to have El Nino. There will be very faster drying up of wetlands which are present in our country. And next one is whatever the policies government came up or laws government came, there is no proper implementation. And always we can see there is a government will be having a behavior of neglection. So because of this also our water bodies are not properly conserved. So because of all these reasons, now the wetlands in our countries are reducing drastically. So because of this, what is going to be happen? There will be increased mosquito population. So why there is increase in mosquito population because of loss of wetlands is, first one is loss of natural predators. We have small frogs and we have dragonfly nymphs, aquatic insects. We have small fishes which are called as gambusia fish, which will be exclusively feeding on this mosquito larvae. So because of this loss of wetlands, now there is loss of natural checks for this mosquito. That is the first reason. And next one here is stagnant water creation. So because nowadays what we are doing in this urban areas and rural areas is we are not properly maintaining the drainage. So because of this poor maintenance of drainage, you can see water stagnation happens and here and there. So that water is enough for the breeding of this mosquito. And next one here is even construction sites, they are creating new artificial breeding grounds. So whenever construction process is going on, if they are using cement to make it harden, obviously they will go for spraying of water, right? So if they are spraying excess water, what happened? They will be forming small dumps. If even a small dump it is forming means it is going to be act as a breeding ground for this mosquito. And next one is there will be increasing of diseases in future. If mosquitoes are improving, what happened? Mosquito borne disease. Can you tell me some examples of diseases which are spread by this mosquito? Chikungunya, dengue, malaria, right? And we have Ebola. So like that, different diseases. They can be spread by this mosquito. So that will lead to disease surge now. And this one is especially in urban areas, we can see this mosquito menace more compared to that of this rural areas. That is about this article. Are you understanding? And say this next article, guys, Gulf within on the UAE leaving OPEC. So this article is talking about UAE wants to leave this OPEC. How can you expect a question if there is any country which is adding in any grouping, or if there is any country which is withdrawing from any group? That will be important for UPSC. And because of this West Asian crisis now, West Asian geopolitics is also very important, right? So if something change happens in West Asia, obviously it will be having impact. And here this grouping is very important because it will be controlling the international price of crude oil. And India is an importing country, right? So if something change happens in this OPEC, that will be having huge impact on India. So you have to know about this article and it is very important. And for sure, you may get a question on OPEC or OPEC plus in your prelims. Keep star mark for this. Okay, this article is saying that UAE announced that it wants to withdraw from this OPEC and it came into effect from May 1st, that is yesterday onwards. Because of this, it is in news. If you see about this OPEC, it is a permanent intergovernmental organization and remember it was formed by this Baghdad Conference. Very important Baghdad Conference in 1960. When this OPEC was formed, there were some founding countries. They were Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi and Venezuela. There are 5 countries that are founding members of this OPEC. and the important mandate it is to coordinate and unify petroleum policies of its members. And now UAE wants to come out of this. And when it joined this OPEC in year 1967, and in 2026 it is going to come out. It already came out. So now how many countries are there in this OPEC? Now we have only 11 countries, and these 11 countries are from 3 continents, right? First one is from Asia, that is from West Asia, and next one is from South America, only one country. Which is that country? Venezuela. And there are African countries. So if you see those countries, we have Algeria. Please make a note: Algeria, Congo, Guinea, Gabon, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Libya, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela. If you see African countries, we have Algeria, Nigeria, Libya, Congo, Guinea, Gabon. So these are the African countries which are part of OPEC. And later on, this OPEC had been extended its membership for other countries. That organization is called as OPEC Plus. And this OPEC Plus was formed in year 2016, guys. And OPEC countries plus 10 other countries, they formed this OPEC Plus. Which are those other countries? We have Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Brunei, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Mexico, Oman, Russia, South Sudan, and Sudan. They formed this OPEC Plus, guys. And OPEC Plus countries includes 40% of world's crude oil, guys. And why UAE wants to exit from this OPEC? The main reason is they are giving more restrictions. They are keeping more restrictions on this UAE. So the capacity of UAE is to produce 5 million barrels per day of oil. But they are restricted to only 3.2 to 3.6 million barrels per a day because of this quota and restrictions. And next one here is it wants to gain more and more economic stability by maximizing its oil revenues. And next one here is even UAE is not satisfied by what other countries are doing in this OPEC. So because of this, it wants to come out of this OPEC grouping. See this question, guys. With reference to OPEC, consider the following statements. It was established in 1960 at Baghdad. Second one is all major oil producing countries of the world are members of OPEC. Its headquarters are located in Vienna, Austria. Which of the statements given above are correct? One important thing you have to see is whenever you are reading any organization, you have to see members. In that members, you have to see which are the founding members. Because if you analyze PYQs and organizations, they asked about members and they asked about founding members. And if there is any conference which was associated with the formation of that organization, you have to remember that. Here we have Baghdad Conference. And next one here is they asked about headquarters, where it is located. Third important point. And the fourth point here is you have to see whether India is part of it or not. Okay, so these are the 4 to 5 areas that you have to focus whenever you are reading any organization. And if there is any conference or any meeting which happened in that year, you may get a question on that also. So in that way you have to see. Okay, find out where this headquarters of this OPEC was there and let me know, guys. And here all oil producing countries in the world are the members. No, not all oil producing countries are members of OPEC, guys. They're not asking about OPEC plus. Okay, that way you have to be clear. And next one here is consider the following statements regarding LPG. LPG has a natural odor which helps in leak detection. Next one is ethyl mercaptan is added to LPG for safety purpose. And third one is LPG is a clean fuel with low carbon emissions compared to coal. Which of the above statements are right? First one is wrong. It is not having any odor. We cannot detect whether LPG is there or not in that area if leak is happening. So for safety purpose only, they add this mercaptan, which will give smell to this LPG cylinders which are there in our home. It is right. And this one is obvious, it is clean fuel only. So because of that, government is promoting LPG cylinders through which scheme? PM Ujjwala Yojana. Yes or no? So these two statements are right. So tell me which is the headquarters of OPEC guys. That's all guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And do subscribe to our Rathod Science Academy channel. Don't forget. Thank you so much.